Hi everyone, welcome to your short tutorial on King Arthur's pose. King Arthur's pose is one of my favorite ways to stretch the fronts of my legs. I tend to hold a lot of tension in my quadriceps, as do a lot of people. The flexors, mainly the quadriceps and the psoas, tend to be tight if we sit at a desk, if we drive a lot, both of which many of us tend to do. So we'll take a couple preparatory poses before diving into King Arthur's pose. And if you're really wanting some focused attention on the quads and on the psoas and the fronts of the legs, you might choose to practice the video Hip Flexor Love first. For now, we will start on our bellies. So come on to your belly and bring your elbows right underneath your shoulders. Your feet are together and the legs are long. So I'm practicing this right by a wall, so make sure you give yourself enough space. You might also want a blanket and a block later in the tutorial. So we'll start here. Press the palms down, and right here we are opening up the front body. Open up the collarbones. Keep the back of the neck long so you're not like this. Back of the neck stays long. And take a deep breath in here, pressing down, and then just release the elbows, but keep the hands there. And just rest your head. Come on back. Bring your elbows under your shoulders. And now draw your hands about a hand length closer to you. Take a breath here. Now the elbows are back a bit. Press into the hands and lift the chest and begin to straighten the elbows just a little bit. Couple breaths here. We're trying to focus the attention and the hinging down in the lower spine and the front of the pelvis. And release it down. And you might just stay there and do that 2 or 3 times with your hands in that position. If you wish for more, slide the hands back again, take a breath, root the legs, press the hands, and lift up, straightening the elbows a little bit more. And breathing in and breathing out. My toes are conveniently touching the wall, so I'm going to actually push off with my toes on the wall. Take another breath here, and bending elbows, come on down and rest. Now you might do that 2 or 3 times with your hands in that position. You might take them back one more time, pressing the ground away. I'm going to press my toes against the wall. The fronts of my thighs are on the ground, and I'm trying to extend my chest away from my legs and from the floor. Take a breath and release it down. So that was a fairly strong back bend. Press into the floor and make your way back into pose of the child. And we'll just be here in this forward bend. And so what we just did is we opened up the hinge of the front body, the front of the hip, and now we're closing that hinge. We're squeezing it and breathing into it. From here, come on up onto your knees and step your right foot forward. Bring the hands on either side of that right knee, and I'm going to just come away from the wall a little bit. Hands on either side of that front leg. Back toes are pointed, so the top of the foot and the toenails are on the ground. Take a breath here and notice that my chest is low. I'm not lifting my chest up like I was doing in that back bend a moment ago. Keep the chest low and press the top of the foot and lift the knee. Lift the back knee, energize the back thigh. Think about lifting the inner leg line away from the floor, pressing the top of the foot, and heavying, as a verb, heavying the pelvis down and slightly forward. One more deep breath here. Pressing down with the foot, lifting up with the knee, and then release the knee to the floor. And again, we'll do that same action. We'll pull the hips back, won't go as far this time, and we'll squeeze that left hip joint. We'll flex that joint a bit. course, you get the added benefit of a stretch in the right hamstrings here. And if it's too much, you can certainly bend the knee, something like that. Take a breath here in and out, and then take the right leg back and the left leg forward, and we'll do that again on the other side. So standing up, take a breath, patting the back knee if you need to. Bring the hands to the floor on either side of your left foot, and my left knee is bent, my chest is down, and my breath is happening. Now, if you had not stepped far enough forward, it would look like this. And you wouldn't be able to extend and straighten the back leg, and you wouldn't be able to move your pelvis forward. So use that as a little guide to make sure that you've slid that left foot forward enough. And you can, of course, always adjust that. So keeping the chest low, the pelvis is heavy, forward and down. Couple breaths here. And then press the back foot, the toenails and the top of the back foot, into the floor and elevate the knee. And energize that leg. I'm focusing on lifting the inner thigh toward the ceiling and rolling the outer right thigh toward the floor, all the while the knee lifts and the foot presses. Couple breaths here. One more breath. And bring it down, push into the floor with your front foot, pull the hips back, taking almost a pose of the child on the right side and a stretch, hamstring stretch on the left leg, unless it's too much, and you can just bend that knee and take the hips back. And after a couple breaths, come on up and we'll switch sides. I'm actually going to use the blanket here to protect my knee. In fact, I will do it for the final pose as well. So I'll kneel on the blanket and I'll step my right foot forward. So as with many postures in yoga, it's not just one thing. So there's an added element to this of balance. So for balancing, I find that a strong gaze is very helpful, so I'm not looking all around the room, losing my balance, and also a strong commitment to my breath. So eyes and breathing help me with my balance. See if they do for you as well. So finding your breath, finding your gaze, press into your right foot, take a deep breath in and out. And before we go any further, just a quick little observation. Make sure that your pelvis is not anteriorly tipped. Take it in the posterior orientation, which means if the hands are on the top of the pelvis, the thumbs tip down and the fingers pull up. So we're in more of a posterior pelvic arrangement. From here, press that front foot, reach back with your left hand, and bend the knee and kick the heel toward the buttock. You might need to do that a few times. You might do it and can't catch the foot. If you can't catch the foot, you might find that this one is not for you. If you can catch the foot, do so. Notice if you took a back bend in order to catch the foot, and that's okay. You borrowed from your spinal flexibility, that's fine. But now let's focus the posture where we mean to focus it. So take it out of the back bend. Take your pelvis into that posterior tilt with your tailbone down and the fronts of your hip points moving up toward your ribs. I'm going to use my hand on my front knee for a moment. There's the balance. And I'm using my back hand to pull the foot in toward the buttock. Here's the next option, 2 hands. So 2 hands take the back foot. I've got my breath, I've got my gaze. I'm breathing. And I'm going to pull the heel toward the left buttock, and specifically more the outside of the left buttock. One more breath. And then, without boomeranging out of it, release the foot. Hands to the floor, switch sides. Press into the feet. Find your breath. Find your gazing point. Press into the floor. You might find that having that left foot right in the middle of the mat is a little too narrow. You might take that left foot a little more wide for stability. Left hand, left leg, right arm reaches back. Take a breath and bring the right heel into the hand. Bring the right heel toward the buttock. So I leaned forward in order to capture it. I bent my back a little to capture it, and that's all right. Pull your pelvis back on top of your right knee. Drop the tailbone down. The bowl of your pelvis is not tipping forward. The bowl of your pelvis is more neutral. Tailbone down, pubic bone up. You might just stay here. Or, second option, reach back, two hands, pulling the heel toward the outer right buttock. Couple breaths. You might find that in order to do this, the chest has to be further forward. That's fine. Just try to keep the pelvis right above the back knee. The more you lift the chest, the more of a back bend it becomes. Take one more deep breath here. Without boomeranging, release. Bring the hands to the floor. Left knee steps back and take a pose of the child. Rightio. So those three preparation postures are wonderful ways to open up the front of the thighs and as well as challenge your balance and your focus. Final posture here is King Arthur's pose. So it's similar to that final one, but we're going to use the wall. So bring your blanket right up to the wall. You can even just double up your mat here. Come on to hands and knees and crawl backwards until your left knee is on the blanket and your left shin bone is on the wall. Come up on your fingertips. Now, see if you can put the foot on the floor. It's hard. It's hard to do. See if you can. If you need to use a chair for some balance or for some support, you can. Walk that right foot out in front of you. Now, you'll notice that this shape is just like that previous pose, but we're going to use the wall and the floor for assistance. So I'm pressing my right foot into the ground. I'm pressing my hands into my front knee. So my knee could be bent more. So what I'm going to do is slide my foot back until the heel is right underneath my knee, and I'll come back up into that more vertical position. So look down at your back foot. Make sure the foot is on the outside of that hip. I'm fairly warmed up, so I can bring my spine and my buttocks and even the back of my head to the wall. Notice what's happening with the pelvis if you're taking a big back bend in order to make this happen. If you're taking a back bend, try to take the pelvis into more of a neutral bowl position. And you might also find that coming forward on one elbow or even down on your hands is a better fit. Keep taking your buttocks towards the wall. Use the right foot to push. If you're able to come to the wall, you might clasp the hands and take your arms vertically. Keep dropping the the tailbone towards the floor, using the right foot to push the wall away. King Arthur's pose. Don't know where that name comes from. I'll have to do some research. Take a deep breath in and release. Bring the hands to the floor. Switch sides. Right leg back, left leg forward. If you need to rest in a pose of the child in between, that is certainly fine. Press into your left foot and push the ground away. Now again, make sure that the heel is more to the outside of the hip. You don't want the heel coming towards the center of the buttocks. You want the heel more to the outside. Press your left foot into the floor. Remember, you might be down on an elbow, just pressing the buttocks towards the wall. And I'm really using my left leg here to make that happen, and it feels good. You might have hands on the floor or hands on a block. If you're able to press more towards the wall, again, make sure you're not taking a big back bend to make that a possibility. Think about drawing the tailbone down, and immediately I feel a big change. I've moved the stretch to where I want it in that front thigh and out of the back bend. So I might use my hands against that front knee, keep pressing that front foot into the floor. And if I want to get real fancy, I can take the arms up, clasp hands. One more breath. And keeping those front ribs buttoned in, release the hands. Release the left knee back, crawl your way forward. Come onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. And a really nice way to counter all of that, and considering we're right next to a wall, let's do it. Enjoy your rest wherever you may be. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.